Hello everybody, this is Tyler Tech Guy, recording a different video than usual. So, this is not going to be scripted or anything, this is just going to be me talking about my thoughts and feelings about Super Mario Bros. Wonder. First off, I gotta say, game looks phenomenal. I'm loving the new art direction. This seems like everything I wanted from a 2D Mario game when it comes to uniqueness. Because the new Super Mario Bros. Series, okay, it's no secret that it's not very original. It's like the same game 4-5 times technically. But this game seems to have a lot of personality, and I love that. Because Mario can, like the series as a whole, can have a lot of personality, and the new Super Mario Bros. Series kind of just didn't show that off as much as it should have. And like, for example, I love how they're using like voice clips for the characters when they hit an enemy or get a power up. It's like very reminiscent of the Super Mario Advance series. Now, even though I'll get to Mario's voice in a second, I'll talk about that later. But I've always loved, like, you know, Mario gets a Firefly, he's like, lucky, or just what I needed, or like whatever he says. I really like Mario's voice, and I love all the characters' voices, and it's just nice to hear them more. Because in the 2D games especially, they barely talk. Maybe when they die, they go, wah! Oh, that's not a dying sound. And you get the point. Also, I'm loving those weird little transformations that happen after you get the Wonder Seed. It reminds me of Pizza Tower. Maybe that's just because it's recent and that's what's on my brain recently, but it reminds me of like the transformations in Pizza Tower. I hope they're like situational and they're not like the whole gimmick of the stage. I kind of hope they're used in a way that like can incorporate normal gameplay and also the transformations. Oh my god, that part where Mario is like rail grinding and grabbing on top of the rail, that was so awesome. Because I love when characters rail grind. Maybe it might just be the Sonic fan in me, but it's always so cool. And more characters have been kind of like doing it recently. Like I know Crash and Crash 4, he grinded on rails, and that's all I can think of right now. But there are like other characters who have done that recently. And I really think that this could be the Super Mario 3D World of 2D Mario games, in a sense that, like, I'm not the biggest fan of 3D World, however, I love the way the stages are set up. They're like, show a gimmick at the beginning, then just go with it throughout, like, the whole stage. I really hope that's what they do, because I saw, like, that one section in the trailer where there's, like, Peach in the foreground and Mario, Toad, and Luigi in the background. It looks really cool. And I always love when games do that. I think it's Kirby Triple Deluxe does that, and this is really cool, I think. And speaking of 3D World and the other playable characters, I'm praying that the other characters have abilities, such as, Mario has nothing. Luigi jumps higher. The Toads are faster, I guess. I don't know, because there's Yellow and Blue Toad, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what their difference would be. Peach, I hope she can float. And Daisy, I love that she's in the game. I hope she has a double jump, because I think she has a double jump in Super Mario Run, unless I'm crazy, but I'm pretty sure that's her ability. And obviously, this is Daisy's first time being playable in a 2D Mario game, a mainline Mario game, period. And I know Daisy fans are very happy about that. I'm kind of a Daisy fan. I like Daisy. She's cool. I like her personality, and I like seeing like the whole gang here. However, Toadette is not in the game, which I don't really care for, but I think it's kind of a strange absence, considering I feel like we were gonna start getting used to her being in the game, like in the 2D Mario games, because she was in New Super Mario Bros. U, and she's just like a color swap, pretty much, of the Toads, like I guess another color swap, so it'd be like pretty easy to implement. Oh, and the Yoshis. I'm loving the fact that Yoshi's might be playable. I'm not sure. There's that one section in the trailer where there's like 4 Yoshis without anyone riding them, just the Yoshis running about. I'm hoping that they're playable, because that'd be really cool. But it does seem like you can hopefully take them through like the different levels, instead of how in the new Super Mario Bros. Games they're just restricted to the levels they're in. And I like how Super Mario World does it more, where you can just take Yoshis anywhere besides the castles and the ghost houses. Oh, and then there's that one part in the trailer where Mario and Peach, I think, like, start floating. I don't know how Peach starts floating, because he kind of grabs like a cap, which she doesn't have. But Mario grabs a cap, and so does Peach, and they like go like floating. I imagine that's probably gonna be just a gimmick that's gonna be in some stages. I don't think it's like a power up or anything. And it'd be kind of bizarre if every single character had that, because floating is like more of a Peach thing. But I'm not sure. And then speaking of power ups, I really hope there are a lot more new power ups, and also I hope there are a lot of returning power ups, because I'd love to see the Tanuki suit. Of course, Firefly was there, but I'd love to see what is it called? The boomerang flower, ice flower is probably there. Cat Mario or the Cat Bell could be really interesting, because it was in Mario Maker 2 as like a 2D power up, so they can definitely make it work, but I don't know if they will, and I kind of doubt they will. And also the elephant power up is very strange and bizarre and wacky, which fits into this game very well, so I imagine the new power ups are probably gonna be very strange and weird and wacky, which is really interesting to think about. I do want to mention, I might sound crazy, but the elephant power up is red, so I'm wondering if it's just restricted to Mario, and like if like any other character hits a block with an elephant Mario power up, it'll just become like a Luigi mouse or something. So I wonder if they all have elephant power ups, or like they'll be different animals. I kind of hope it'll be different animals, but I don't know, that might like cause problems when it comes to gameplay, so I'm not sure. Now, I find it very interesting how there are characters that aren't toads, like as, I guess, the NPCs. Because there's that one part at the end, or like right before the elephant part. Like, they're given a Wonder Seed by some thing. I'll call it a Wonder Toad for now. So it's interesting how they're using things that aren't just toads. Because as far as I've heard, there's a rule where they can't do that and they restricted to use toads. But that might be specifically for the RPGs, so not sure. Now, I've noticed that there are both normal coins and purple or like pink coins. I wonder what those pink coins are going to be used for. Maybe like some, I don't know, like shop for costumes or something. Maybe, I'm just thinking of Mario Odyssey with the purple coins. But I'm really curious to see what they're going to be used for. I'm noticing that there might be a mechanic where you can kind of just like go to the background, like, well, like I think it might be like a common mechanic, because I mentioned it earlier, but I noticed in the Daisy section where like Daisy's like pushing the pipe against that guy, there seems to be a very clear background, and I imagine if you go on the pipe, it'll probably shoot you to the background or something. So that's gonna be really fun to see. Really quickly, I want to mention the story. I mentioned heavy quotation marks, but there are like Wonder Seeds and like these Wonder Toads, and no Bowser to be seen in the trailer. I imagine Bowser's gonna be actually, I lied. Bowser isn't in the trailer, like from that ship, like his face is on there. But I wonder like what his goal is. Maybe, okay, I'll just, because this sounds very Mario-y. Bowser is trying to collect the Wonder Seeds so he can wish to beat Mario, or wish to have the princess, or something. Because that sounds like something he'd do. And I imagine that the Wonder Seeds, it seems like they're going to be the kind of like collectible, I guess, like kind of like the Star Coins. I imagine the Star Coins are going to be absent completely, and they'll just be replaced with Wonder Seeds, which is very cool, because I liked when Mario collected the Wonder Seed, he goes and like the jingle plays, kind of like when you collect what's it called, like a moon in Odyssey or a star in Mario 64. I've always loved the little jingle that plays when you collect something, so it's nice to see that in a 2D Mario game. And I imagine these are going to be plentiful, because I guess they'll be more like the collectibles in the 2D Kirby games. 2D Kirby games. The more recent Kirby games, where there aren't just like 3 per level. There's like 2 some levels, 5 some levels, which I like more, because it gives me more of a chance to just roam around the world. And then it seems you'll be rewarded with a Wonder Seed after beating a level. At least that's what it looks like from the part right before the elephant. So that's cool. Alright, I want to touch on the music. In the background, I'm using someone's recreation of the song, because they made that already, which is really impressive. But I'm not hearing any ba-bas, from the new Super Mario Bros. Games. which is kind of sad because I've always loved that from the games. It was always classic because I knew exactly what every single one was. I go ba ba when I was younger, when I used to play the games. So kind of sad that it doesn't seem like they're gonna be there, but maybe I'm wrong. And it's kind of crazy to me that the last 2D Mario game was 10 years ago. I'm not counting U Deluxe. I'm talking about New Super Luigi U. That was a decade ago, which is kind of crazy to think about. And now, of course, finally, I want to touch on the voices. Mario doesn't sound like Charles Martinet. I don't care what anyone says. It doesn't sound like Charles Martinet. Now, if it is, then great job. He sounds completely different. I like the direction he's taking for the character. Well, okay. He sounds fine. I don't think I'm hearing anyone complain. I'm just complaining because complaining is the wrong word. But it just doesn't sound like Charles Martinet. Which is fine, because like the voice sounds fine. It sounds like Mario, just doesn't sound like Charles Martinet. It sounds kind of weird to say, but I think I make sense. But I do want to mention, I'm going to Too Many Games tomorrow. Well, actually, ideally this video should be out on Saturday, which is when I'm going to Too Many Games. So Charles Martinet will be there. I'm probably gonna ask him if he's voicing the character. I don't know if he's allowed to say, but I'm probably gonna ask because I'm very curious, because it just does not sound like him to me. And I will let you guys know what he says in the comments or something. But yeah, overall, this game looks amazing. October 20th, we already got a release date. I'm incredibly excited for this game to come out, because it looks like everything I've wanted from a 2D Mario game for a hot minute, I guess. So, yeah, that's very exciting. So yeah, with that all being said, please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I make another YouTube video, which will be whenever I want. And until next time, you wonderful, wonderful, beautiful people, this is Tyler Tech Guy, out.